After our 2016 holiday in America, I asked my 81-year-old mother where she'd like to go in 2017, and she said Denmark. Getting to Denmark from our local airport is easy, as KLM regularly fly to Copenhagen via Amsterdam. Travel insurance for the elderly and their yoga companions is available from Saga. The most important thing for our holidays is finding the right hotel for our needs. My research showed that Copenhagen hotels can be noisy, quite small, with strange decor and traditional wooden floors that can be quite slippery if you're unsteady on your feet. So although it might sound strange, I actually started looking for hotels that had carpets in their bedrooms. It was also important to find a hotel that had a good infrastructure that could help if either of us became unwell. More traditional requirements include a restaurant that could provide us with good food for all 3 meals without having to go out looking for other places to eat. Since neither of us are particularly energetic, and we are likely to spend long periods of time in a hotel, it should also be an interesting place to be with fascinating views from the windows. In other words, the hotel itself should be part of the enjoyment of the holiday. A YouTube search found this really helpful video from the Copenhagen Marriott Hotel that describes the room renovations that included a carpet. Further research shows that it ticks all the boxes that I was looking for, including a good restaurant, ice dispenser on every floor, and spectacular views of either the city or the river. The Marriott chain of hotels also offer a discount to senior citizens for 2 rooms. This just goes to show that if you want to travel the world in style, then you need to grab yourself an old person.
Would you like a cup of tea?
The flights with KLM were really good, with nice, kind and caring air stewardesses, and the wheelchair special assistant at all the airports was very helpful. We both needed a rest on our first day and stayed at the hotel, apart from a quick trip to a local pharmacy to get a packet of paracetamol and also to collect our Copenhagen cards from the Tourist Information Bureau. I was surprised as to how loud and busy the centre of Copenhagen was, and pleased that our hotel was in a quieter location. Copenhagen cards are prepaid cards for entry into nearly 80 different visitor attractions. The website makes a claim that it is free entry, but of course you have already paid for the card. I bought the 5-day version for €120, which is about 100 UK pounds. The cost of the card does get cheaper the more that you use it, especially if you use the public transport, but we found that it would have been very difficult for us to visit enough attractions in those 5 days to make it cheaper than paying at the gate. I did find, however, that the big advantage for myself was not having to deal with so much money every time we went somewhere. On day 2, we arranged to have a bus tour on a hop-on and hop-off bus. We stayed on the bus until we got to the Little Mermaid. It was fascinating seeing the Little Mermaid, but there were 2 very noticeable things about her. The first is that they certainly weren't joking when they say that she's little, and so don't go expecting something like the Eiffel Tower or the Statue of Liberty, as it is a life-size model of a young lady, and this means that she can get a bit swamped in a mass of people taking pictures. The second most noticeable thing is that she is most definitely a woman with all the wonderful, interesting, womanly, curvy bits on display. We are so used to seeing the cartoon image of mermaids with seashells and long flowing hair that covers up all the essentials that it comes a bit of a surprise to see everything on display. I also noticed that the only distinguishable aspect that made her a mermaid, and not just any naked young lady sat on a rock, was that instead of having an entirely fishy tail, she actually only had fishy, flippy feet. The hop-on, hop-off bus tours are good, but be warned that the view from downstairs can be a bit limited. We went to Copenhagen Zoo on day 3. The taxi ride there was good, with a drop-off point just outside the main entrance. But we also had to wait ages at the end of the day, as there weren't any taxis at the taxi rank. We eventually flagged one down by jumping out at it on a zebra crossing. The zoo itself is brilliant with lots of animals to see, and although it has some uppy-downy bits, it is actually mostly flat, which makes getting around much easier. The food was good, with a buffet-style restaurant which gave us enough energy to spend the afternoon exploring the zoo and enjoying the animals. Day 4, we went to Tivoli Gardens. It was mid-October, which is the start of the school holidays, and the gardens had just opened with their annual Halloween celebrations, which meant it was jam-packed with people and looked a bit like this. We found a nice quiet spot where we could sit down and watch everybody else enjoy being whizzed about. We needed a rest, and so on day 5 we stayed at our amazing Marriott hotel. The hotel is very modern and stylish, with a nice relaxed atmosphere. There's a big conference centre on the first floor, and Pier 5 Bar and Midtown Grill restaurant on the ground floor. Pier 5 is a relaxed bar where we enjoyed having our daily lunch. In warmer weather, it's possible to enjoy food on the terrace, but you can still enjoy seeing the boats go past from the inside tables. The food is always spectacular and looks like a work of art. I don't think I've ever eaten so many flowers before. The restaurant caters for all tastes. A waiter noticed that I bought my own bread and mentioned that they are able to provide gluten-free bread, which was actually quite nice for a change. The available choice at breakfast is huge, with a wide variety of cooked and uncooked foods. The impressive view looks out over the river and the wooden walkways, and this means that you can enjoy seeing people walking, cycling and the boats while you dine. The restaurant food is very impressive and enjoyable, cooked to a high standard, and although completely unexpected, I really enjoyed the guinea fowl and white chocolate sorbet. The hotel and restaurant staff are all very professional and smartly dressed, but more importantly, they make you feel very comfortable and welcome. We really appreciated their impressive level of service and enjoyed getting to know them as real people. The rooms are really nice, big and spacious, and is well stocked with tea making facilities and a minibar refrigerator that is thankfully very quiet, as this meant I didn't turn into the Incredible Hulk in the middle of the night with my sensitive hearing. The carpet was brilliant and made us feel safe in the middle of the night without the fear of slipping and falling over. It is laid throughout the bedroom with tiles in the bathroom as you'd expect. Because it is a bigger hotel, they were able to find us rooms with an interconnecting door. This meant that we had our own space, but also the opportunity to come and go to each other's rooms as we pleased. We had a view over the city, but sadly the memory card of the video camera managed to corrupt a few files, including the one I had taken of the view. It does, however, look a bit like this view that I found on the internet, and we enjoyed seeing the Tivoli rides go up and down during the day and the evenings. We also enjoyed using the comfortable chairs in the lift lobby area to sit and view the rowing boats and ferries as they went up and down the river. There is also an open air swimming pool nearby. Despite us being there in October, there are still people mad enough to go for a swim. We also went for a short, gentle stroll along the flat walkway that is located just outside the back of the hotel. On the morning of our last day in Denmark, we went to the Amber Museum that is part of the House of Amber. It is small with a steep set of stairs, but is well worth the effort, and I'd highly recommend that if you are in Copenhagen, then you should visit this small museum. It has everything from raw amber to objects that have been made out of amber. It also has Jurassic Park style pieces of amber displayed under magnifying glasses, whereby you can see parts of plants and trapped insects. Sadly, or maybe that should be thankfully, it's probably not possible to make a dinosaur as shown in the Jurassic Park film. After returning to the hotel for lunch and a rest, we visited the amazingly spectacular Christiansborg Palace. It has a working set of stables with impressive white horses and a collection of carriages. The palace staterooms are on the first floor of the main building and is very grand with something spectacular in every direction that you look, including the floors and ceilings. Watch out for the tapestries later in this video, as they are really impressive because they are very bright and vibrant with a lot of detail. It is an active modern palace and is used by the monarch, parliament and supreme court. I hope you get a chance to visit Christiansborg Palace to see it for yourself, but in the meantime I hope you enjoy these pictures. On the final night of our stay in Copenhagen, the hotel had a jazz evening in the Pier 5 bar, and it was a good way to spend the evening. I felt really pleased with the holiday and everything we'd seen and done. As always, there are some things that don't always go so well, but the majority of the holiday was extremely good and enjoyable. The zoo was good, but the Amber Museum and Christiansborg Palace were the highlight of the holidays. The hotel itself was amazing and played a large part in making the holiday a success. We always felt very welcome and valued customers, starting from the very first moment we walked through the front door and met the very nice, friendly and helpful French guest relations supervisor. The food was really good and the friendly staff were superb. I knew I had chosen the right hotel, as both myself and my mother agreed that we both felt very happy, safe and secure at the hotel, as it was a home away from home.